Well, I did have a G2 one on before this, but I burned it after that finals performance. So now I'm wearing a C9 one.
Wow.
You know? So.
Whoa. You don't do them like that, bro.
Hello, everybody. IWillDominate here, welcoming you to How Do You Pick 'Em, the world's talk show where I sit down with some of the favorite League of Legends personalities from around the globe, and Jankos, to talk about Worlds 2022, compare our pick'ems, and try not to get flamed for our predictions. Now joining me for our first episode is LCS's Emily Rand, the Western GOAT jungler, Caedrel himself, and G2 Esports' very own Jankos. Jankos, how are you doing?
Hey, hello. I'm good. Unfortunately, after an unfortunate weekend, but excited to be here.
All I know is that when this video is released, I've got a clip of Dom saying the greatest Western jungler, Caedrel, and that's going to go somewhere as an alert, I'm sure of it.
The Western GOAT jungler, Caedrel himself. I mean, I was thinking about an intro. I was thinking maybe saying the two greatest Western junglers of all time, and Jankos, but you know, I just left it just there for you.
Yeah.
You are actually
Thanks,
the.
Actually, that's like some hard copium right here, but I appreciate you guys have some confidence left.
What all I'm saying, Jankos, is
trust me.
Caedrel and I have never lost the finals.
They're gonna feel nothing but disappointment.
That's all I'm saying. So hey,
That is true.
take it for what it's worth. You know, that's what we hang our hats on. Now, if you're not familiar with Pick'em, it's basically an app on LoL Esports.com that lets you earn points and exclusive rewards for predicting the outcomes of Worlds matches. This year, for the first time, you'll be able to get your Pick'em started with the play-in knockout stage on October 2nd. But this year, before Worlds starts, you'll be able to make tons of different crystal ball predictions about teams, players, and even champions. Just for locking in your crystal ball and Pick'em's choices, you can get exclusive Worlds 2022 esports capsules containing emotes and icons. Let's run through the crystal ball questions and see who we'd pick for some of these. So, how do we start, guys? I think that the best place is with the meta. So we are going to see who you guys think will be the most picked champion during Worlds. So Caedrel, start us off.
See, now I feel like it's a champ. Now, a lot of people think of champs that are buffed or champs that are new to the meta. A lot of people think of champs that are OP, but if it's banned, it can't be picked. So it can't be that OP. It needs to be something that's like in the middle. So I'll go with a safe bet and say like Ornn, because I think later people go back to scaling.
Giga champ.
I'll just say Ornn won't fall out of the meta, and he won't get banned either, so he'll be the blind pick. So everyone just pick Ornn. I'll say Ornn.
Okay, Jankos, you definitely laughed at that. Do you think that Ornn will be up there, or do you have something else?
I think Ornn is honestly like a pretty safe choice, right? It was meta the whole time. Was a safe blind. I feel like Aatrox is another champion that definitely will be picked a lot, if not banned. The problem might be that a lot of the other top laners are getting buffed. Aatrox is not getting nerfed high prior in every region, so I can see Aatrox being picked a lot over on actually as a blind pick, assuming again he's not banned. So if I would have to choose a top lane, I would choose Ornn. But from bot lane champions, I can also see Lucian Nami being picked. I know it's not one champion, it's two, right? Normally they get picked together. Again, a duo that hasn't really been nerfed very strong. Nami only the electrocute prog on the E, so I kind of wanted to talk about junglers and AD carries, but Caedrel said Ornn, and now I'm like really biased towards Aatrox because I really want to like show that like my prediction is better than Caedrel's for some reason. Which by the way, it's not like personal. It's like I don't know.
Is that why you picked the counter as well?
Yeah, like.
All right.
Nah, this guy doesn't. Okay, so anyway, I would just go with Aatrox. Keep it short.
Look, I'm gonna just settle it right here. You're both wrong. The pick that is going to actually come in the most is Renekton, and LS will have an aneurysm when this happens. So I think most picked Renekton. The Asian teams love Renekton. We got 369 there. We got a bunch of Renekton B. Emily, what do you think?
I can actually see that happening. I picked a jungler. Lee Sin is getting buffs on this patch. I said Lee Sin because I think it's something that every single jungler coming up, regardless of ladder, learns how to play. I don't think it'll be so high prio that it'll get banned out a ton, like I might be able to see with, I think Aatrox specifically I actually had down as like, maybe he'll be banned. But yeah, I went with Lee Sin because I'm like, he's something everyone knows how to play regardless of team, I feel, or at least you think you know how to play it.
Almost everyone knows how to play it.
You think, yeah.
You think you do. Every jungler thinks they know how to play Lee Sin well.
back.
Am I wrong?
That
I
is
feel
true.
like I'm right.
I am a
Don't play Lee Sin, you're not a
32-year-old
jungler.
non-delusional jungle player. I know that my Lee Sin is dirty. I don't want to see my own Lee Sin. I can't let my ego make myself watch myself play Lee Sin. It's just it's too messed up. So I'm one of the only non-delusional junglers. I know I can't play Lee Sin.
But I think it changes when you retire. As soon as you retire, you realize that you're actually bad. But when you're still in the game, you have to believe that you are the best.
Yeah, you just have to be on
right?
copium the entire time.
It's so
Yeah,
true.
completely.
Oh,
That's how it
my
works.
God.
Sure it is.
All right, so next we got banned. What champions are going to be banned the most at Worlds? I guess I'll
Can I
start
start
us off
with
here.
that?
Ooh.
Me?
Okay, sure.
What's
Actually, wait,
a very-
I
a
have
very-
like my own prediction here. So what if I
I will
start?
say, did Kalista get nerfed?
He does.
I don't think so, right?
No.
No, I think so. I mean, I think didn't she lose 3 AD or was it already playoff patch?
That was already 12-15, I think.
Okay.
Am I trolling? I feel like
No.
I feel like
I
that
think
was
she's
already
not getting
12-15.
enough,
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it could be Kalista. I actually kind of agree with Caedrel. But there's one champion that, in my opinion, is very annoying. That is also very similar to Kalista, that dominates lane. And if she starts losing, it's completely garbage. And it's Caitlyn. I think Caitlyn got buffed 1 patch ago on live servers. And
Yep.
I do have some unpleasant experiences with Caitlyn's in solo queue. It feels like it hits very hard, especially if it's ahead. Okay, I also had unpleasant experiences
Yeah,
on
I was gonna
stage,
say.
but okay, I get it. Haha, funny guys. But I do think if Caitlyn actually becomes meta, it's something that is very difficult to deal with, and I think a lot of bot laners just don't like to deal with it because, again, either it's like beyond broken, winning lane, taking your towers, or completely useless, falling behind. Right? I don't really see a lot of Caitlyns that are like in between, somewhat useful. So it reminds me of Kalista a little bit. Maybe not as lane dominant always, but can be very dangerous in certain matchups. So if it becomes a prior pick, I do see her being banned a lot. I do think Kalista is a safe bet, but I will just go a bit more YOLO and choose Caitlyn.
Emily, who do you think is banned
And
the
by
most?
the way, sorry to like interrupt. And Hecarim, I think Hecarim, if it wouldn't get
That was
nerfed, but
mine!
it's good. Yeah, but it's getting nerfed next patch. Hecarim is getting
But
nerfed
how
next
hard?
patch. So
Yeah.
yeah, we don't know.
I'm
That's
so
the thing, we don't
mad,
know.
actually.
Oh my god, my ears just got destroyed.
Sorry, but Hecarim is like, yeah.
I
Hopefully,
actually have a thing where I'm like, Hecarim, I don't know if you can see it, but it says Hecarim > under most banned.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so
I was like, because I don't know what the nerfs are going to be, but I think he's really, really strong on 12,
17, yeah.
yeah, 12,
Yeah.
17. That was going to be mine. I mean, we know that normally when a champion gets like changed, they don't want to nerf it super hard right away. And I don't believe that Riot is going to actually nerf it hard enough that it's going to be unplayable. I mean, I just think so many things changed with you getting like armor and magic resist on the W. And then I think that they weren't really considering that people were just going to start maxing W second. Now you have a bunch of free stats. People are going Eclipse and like all the like this different build than before. So that was going to be mine. I was just going to say Hecarim, but obviously if it gets gutted right before, then it won't be banned. But Emily, who do you have outside of the Hecarim?
So yeah, I had Hecarim, and then I actually did have Aatrox because I feel like so many people complain about it, and I feel like that's something that a lot of top laners just want to get rid of so they can play other power picks. I could be wrong on that, but I think like it's so good, like not super good, but it is a safe enough blind still. He's not receiving any nerfs. I think it'd be cool to remove that. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, right? Because I want to see like cooler top lane matchups. No offense, Aatrox. And yeah, maybe I just want it to be banned out so we get like more like blind Fiora. Why not?
Giovanni.
That's no, that's the opposite of what I want. No.
Also, I'm looking here. Apparently, Maokai's win rate went up by 5.1% since the buffs.
Yeah,
Or
it
the
looks
change.
really
Yeah.
strong.
So maybe
Wait,
he's
are we
in that
talking about
band.
Maokai
Jungle
top lane
and
or?
top.
Maokai top, yeah, Maokai top. It's now 51.3%
I'm not trolling.
win rate.
It's I don't know if you guys can read, but Maokai is my third.
And overall,
And for
having
Alvis.
a 53% win rate across all elos is actually pretty high. So
So the next crystal ball selection that we have here is KDA. Which player is going to have the highest KDA by the end of Worlds? Caedrel, who do you think?
another safe bet, baby. I always got the safe bets. I'll go Chobi. He broke the KDA record a couple years ago, I think. So
Okay.
my man will just keep his KDA going. Also, I think his group for first seed, I think he has the easiest group. So his KDA will stay high through group stage, I hope. And then if they get knocked out early in the semis, then it can't get worse. You know what I'm saying? When he goes to like a final or something. So
That's fair enough. Jankos?
Well, from my perspective, it cannot be a jungler because junglers have to face check and you have to die sometimes for your team. It cannot be a support, same reasoning. I think they are nerfing a lot of enchanter supports. Lulu getting nerfed, Yumi already nerfed a couple of patches in a row, so I can see the meta shifting maybe a little bit into melee supports again. If it's melee supports, of course, supports are gonna die a lot. Top laners, complete inters, no way they have high KDA. So it's between mid lane and AD carry. I think I will go with safe bet as well, Gen G. It has to be Ruler or Chovy. I think they have like a pretty chill group. RNG will most likely end up there, but I still think that, you know, they will probably push through. They will get the first seed, and I just see one of them getting the highest KDA. But I do have to pick one, right? So I will just go with Ruler, I guess, because Caedrel picked Chovy.
It took my...
Jankos is following me through these pickings a little bit, isn't
I
he?
know.
Or
Man.
picks the counter. Chovy comes with me to bot lane.
First, that's the thing, you know, so...
Oh, I gotta go first next time. I was gonna have Ruler, but I guess I'll go for a similar player in Viper. I think Viper is a beast. This guy just seems to play as close to perfect league as you can play from the AD carry role, and yeah, I mean, I just feel like since the team plays around him, he's normally a big force in the games that they win, and I just believe that he'll have a really good tournament. So I guess Viper will be my pick.
Excuse me to interrupt you, but Viper is playing against a powerhouse Cloud9. Are you sure he can, you know, keep his KDA high after facing Cloud9 twice?
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Berserker is probably the second best AD carry in that group, since Guma's been running it down pretty significantly for most of the split. Just
Based.
to be fair, but you know what? I'm still gonna go Viper. I believe in Viper. You know, if you have a harder group stage, maybe you have a little bit easier. Maybe you get someone like G2 in quarterfinals, so you get a free quarters.
It's very bold of you to assume G2 will make quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't actually, man. But, you know, just for the sake of flame, I got to give you some credit so I can beat you down later. You know, it's
Jankos gotta fight his way out of the gulag right now. It's looking tough.
yeah, it's pretty tough. Emily, who do you think
Rogue
is
excited. I'm so
Rogue almost
excited.
did it last year, right? So
true?
C9 did.
True.
When everyone counted them out. And this is like, I think that was worse on paper going into the tournament than your group. So
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Oh, I believe. I'm giga high on Copium, but I believe.
Emily, who do you think is having the highest KDA by the end of Worlds?
Well, I also had Chovy and then Ruler. So I'll go with like a kind of troll answer, not because of his capability, but because I don't think his team is gonna go like super far. But if he crushes it so hard in play-ins and inflates his KDA off of that, and then doesn't die a lot in like groups, and if they made it to quarters, I feel like Deft maybe. Like, he was one of the reasons why they're here, why DRX is here. I don't see DRX going like super far, so someone can now clip this if they do and just be like, wow, Emily, you're a moron. But I think like after Chovy and Ruler, which are like the most obvious answers, you then have the other 80 carries like Jackie Love, Viper, Hope. I think Deft is still really good, and I think like maybe there's a chance that he just crushes it like so hard in his play-in group, because they should be pretty solid through that group outside of having to face RNG.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hey,
a player who's always had, sorry, so the constant KDA that can also be applied to the Deft idea is Upset as well. I think if Upset's team makes it through and they have some successful games and don't make it that far, I think he could fall into the same pool as Deft.
yeah, it makes sense. Oh, well, we'll definitely have to see on that one. The last crystal ball pick that we're going to do here before we close out the segment is the team that you guys think will win Worlds. Who do you guys think will be the team that wins Worlds? So, yeah, whoever wants to start, go for it. Jankos?
G2 is...
Okay, you can't even finish that with a straight
I cannot
face.
be biased, right? Like, I cannot be biased. I mean, if I'm super realistic, and if I'm not playing G2 Esports, then I would choose either JDG or Gen G. I think both teams were quite dominant. I mean, I suppose JDG finals were like not as dominant as Gen G. Gen G looked better, and JDG also went 5 games, and Kanavi Belvet did happen in game 5. But I do think that probably it's gonna be Gen G. That being said, the meta will change a little bit, and I feel like they were like the most versatile, so they might just figure out the meta the fastest again, and they also have like a pretty chill group. The only way I see them not winning is if maybe they get like too chill, so to say, and they, you know, swipe the group, and then they meet like a strong opponent, like
Hundred
G2, for
Thieves
example,
in group stage.
quarterfinals.
Oh, never mind.
and then you know, they lose. But yeah, I do see Gen.G, I think, are the favorites, definitely going to Worlds.
Okay, Caedrel, who do you think?
I mean, it's probably Top Esports or JDG, right? It's like the easiest answer.
You can go Gen.G still.
So, yeah, Gen.G as well. I think it's Gen.G, Top Esports, or JDG is like your answer. I think any of the three can be given an argument as being correct. But I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong here. But for example, like last year, EDG was never like the team in the 1-2 that you would expect to win Worlds.
Let's start with Sneaky here. Who do you think is going to win this finals? What is your prediction?
I think there's some slight hope for EDG. But
Tyler, you think it's just going to be
EDG wins it. I'm sitting on my
Wait,
bed
what?
praying every night. EDG 3-0's damn one. I'm not kidding anymore. This isn't a hot take. I'm dead serious.
I think EDG could actually like take a couple games. I don't think they'll win the series.
And I guess there's always, when it comes to like knockout stage, you can have like civil war between teams where like they just eat each other alive, and you're on the other side of the bracket. You can get a much easier finals run, like IG KT days as well, where if there was like a lower bracket where KT could come back, some teams would struggle a bit more. I think dark horse for me would be like, if like a really psycho take, dark horse would be Damwon, because of the way the meta is shifting.
Well,
I don't know what the 12-18 patch looked like, but if I see like things like Jace buffed and things, and maybe bot lane becomes less relevant because of the enchanter nerfs and stuff like this, and it's more like a roam heavy top side, team like Damwon benefits off that a little bit.
Yeah, Nuggery has not washed Copium. He's still good at Jace.
Yeah, he's been super up and down, but he's had a split where he's been playing like Orange Sejuani a bit too much, I think. So I'll say Top Esports.
Okay. Well, Emily, you can go third.
Mine are already taken. I always go last, so I never all of my answers are already taken. I think Gen.G is obviously like the super safe answer. They're looking really good. It's also LPL teams. I don't know if Dom agrees with me on this, but LPL teams, A, play so fast and loose in season, and then B, the way that they match up is always really uniquely interesting because they all play very differently from each other. They actually end up seeing a lot more of their mistakes. Whenever I'm evaluating an LPL team, I'm always thinking like, oh man, they made so many mistakes here. How is someone not going to capitalize on it, without necessarily thinking of how good they are as well? Of the teams and the way the meta is setting up, like, I actually think Top Esports is, because you have to pick like which LPL team is going to suit the meta the most, and that's always the team that goes the furthest. So like for 2020, it actually ended up being Suning. For last year, it ended up being EDG. They were like by far and away the most comfortable team with Enchanter's bot, and kind of set up to play around Viper really, really well. So I think it's going to be Top Esports. I think this might finally be their time to actually have a Worlds meta hit that they're super comfortable with, because obviously that absolutely did not happen when they were favorites. They were the favorite LPL team rather going into 2020.
I mean, I can't personally bet on Jackie Love after what I saw in finals.
Rest on them, so JDG will play around that.
Pill is really good though. Watch for Jackie Love. He lightning crash. There you go, Pill. Jackie Love, what are you doing? Top Esports have given kills to Hope and TES. This is not the summer we remember.
My man ran it down.
Rough, right? You still have that flame running through your hands, like,
That was a very interesting Zeri performance in game number 5. I guess I'll go for JDG.
Zeri's dead now.
Yeah, Zeri is dead, but I mean, Kaisa might come back into the meta, and who knows what Jackie Love are.
Gala time.
Yeah, it might be Gala time. Who knows? Who knows? My pick is going to be JDG. I really like this team. They definitely probably have the highest chance of just crashing and burning when you look at just how they play and the players on their team. Obviously, they went to Worlds 2020. They did not have a great Worlds. It was just super weird, their adaptation to the meta. They were playing all this weird thing. They were playing like Silas jungle when it wasn't even close to being meta in group stage. It was really strange, their take on it, but I just really liked watching this team in LPL. I just feel like they had that championship spirit where no matter how bad the game was going, they would always be able to find ways to get back into the game. And I think that being able to not only play from ahead, but also from behind is really important in a tournament like Worlds. Also, you know, having the mentality of consistently looking for opportunities and creating your own opportunities is something that I value a lot. And yeah, I really enjoy watching that team. So my crystal ball pick is going to be JDG. It's also who I hope wins, but you know, it's going to be my crystal ball pick. Thanks for joining us on the first episode of How Do You Pick 'em. Don't forget to set your crystal ball picks before play-in games begin on September 29th, and set your picks for play-in knockouts starting on October 2nd. Tune in next time, where we'll be looking ahead to play-ins and taking a deeper dive into the tournament as a whole. Thanks for watching.